What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 36. And this is going to be our very first iteration of what I'm going to be calling Marketing Mondays. So the idea right now, and obviously, guys, if we don't love this and it's not great, we're not committed to doing anything forever. Things can always change. We can always adapt. But the idea right now is that we start every week with a marketing focused episode. And so that'll be probably in the majority of cases, it'll be me talking about a particular marketing strategy, something you can use and implement in your side hustle style business right now, or your main hustle style business right now as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to be the general trend. The general trend of Mondays will be digging deep into a specific strategy. Maybe that specific strategy will be something to the effect of a two-page funnel and a Google ad, or maybe it'll be something like DM ads on Facebook, or just we'll go specific into a particular strategy. As our very first Marketing Monday, I actually want to pull back and go a little bit bigger picture. If everything that we're going to be doing on Mondays in general is going to be super tactical, then I think it's good that we have a starting place that is above the tactics. Tactics are constantly changing because the world we're living in is constantly changing. Technology is constantly changing, and therefore tactics don't last very long. And so I want us to have at least one Marketing Monday on the books. And it's important to me that it's the first one, especially if this isn't something that we keep, that is going to withstand the test of time, and it's going to surpass any tactics. The way we're going to do that is we're actually going to go through what should be in your marketing plan as a business owner. And this is what I like to call a 9-point marketing plan. These are things that I build for prospects all the time. I build it for clients all the time. I build it for my business all the time. 9-point marketing plan is really where you want to start before you even analyze any particular tactics. And as we talk about this, you're going to be like, well, that sounds like that might get a tactic into it. And they do, but it's going to be the holistic picture. In that way, when you are surfing the internet and you see all these different shiny objects, you can just look at them very quickly and know whether or not that tactic aligns with your overall marketing plan. And if it doesn't, then it's white noise. And if it does, then you can investigate it. So 9-point marketing plan. Point number 1, we're going to start really fundamental, basic, everybody needs to do this. Every business needs to do this. We got to identify our target market. Oftentimes when I bring up the idea of a target market to a small business owner, they like to tell me how they can actually serve everybody. And well, you can't possibly market to everybody. 1, you don't have the ad budget. 2, you can't do it effectively because you can't speak effectively to everybody at the same time. You have to speak to a specific audience at a time. So while you might be able to serve everybody, and you should serve anybody who walks through your door and needs help, that doesn't mean you should market to everybody. And this is a marketing plan. So with a marketing plan, we got to figure out who our target market is. To do that, I recommend using something called a PVP index. So PVP index, really simply, you just go ahead and first step, list out every single segment that you can serve, general segment of the audience that you can serve anybody. So for example, as a marketing, as a fractional CMO, done for you marketing services, those kinds of things, I can serve any business, right? Does that mean I should serve any business? I don't know. Maybe a segment that I could serve would be nonprofits. Maybe a segment that I could serve would be Christian organizations. Maybe a segment that I could serve would be B2B companies or SaaS companies or tech companies or product companies or e-commerce companies, right? There's all these different segments. And the more I think about it, the longer that list is going to get. And so that's what we do. We first step, segment our audience, figure out how many different segments there are that we could possibly serve. Step 2 is we're going to rank each of those segments in 3 categories. It's going to be on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the highest. We're going to say personal fulfillment. How much do I enjoy helping this segment? Next one, value to the marketplace. How much does this segment appreciate my service? And then last question, profitability. How profitable is serving this segment? We're going to rank all 3 of those questions on a scale from 1 to 10. And then step 3, we total all those up. Step 4, whichever segment gets the largest total, there's your target market. That's who we go after. That's who we serve. Step 2 is all about your messaging. Step 2 in a 9-point marketing plan. So point number 2 in a 9-point marketing plan is all about your messaging. So in order to do your messaging well, there's 3 or 4 categories that I say you break it down to that are super important for you to both understand and put into your marketing. The first one is a simple dichotomy. You got to list out who exactly is this product or service for and who is it not for. When you write this out, what you should be doing is you should be clarifying to your target market, this is for you. It's not for anybody else. And anybody who's in a segment that you could serve, who this is not for, That's who you tell directly, explicitly. This is not for you. This is for my target market. This is for six-figure solopreneurs. This is for whatever your target market is, right? Then you move on to your unique selling proposition. To figure out what your unique selling proposition is, really there's three questions you need to ask yourself. One is, why should your client avatar, your target market, why should they buy the product, good, or service that you sell? You got to answer that question. Why should they buy it? Question number two, why should they buy it from you? And question number three, what makes you truly remarkable? Answer those three questions, you got a USP in there. Then we move on. Okay. Something that I highly recommend that you do when you figure out your messaging is write yourself an elevator pitch. I'm not saying you're ever going to use this with a prospect necessarily, but having the clarity and presence of mind to know your elevator pitch is going to be helpful for you when you apply it to all of your messaging. So here's how we do it. We have a simple framework that goes like this. You know the primary problem? Well, what we do is primary solution. In fact, proof class / case study example. Okay. So for example, you know how there's a million different side hustles that you could possibly start, and there's a million directions you could go. And when you look online, it's just incredibly overwhelming as to what you should do. Well, what I do is I help people get clarity on what specific side hustle they should do based on their circumstances, their interests, their strengths, and then I help them build that business. In fact, just a couple months ago, I had somebody who joined my program who did not have a business. And in the first 32 days, they made over $7,000. Okay? That's an elevator pitch. And that's a true story, by the way. Point number 3 on a 9-point marketing plan is the media that you're going to use. What media channels are you going to use? So there's a ton of media channels out there. You can do Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of those. You can do organic strategies, or you can run ads on them. You can do Google ads, or you can do SEO. You can do podcasts, running your own, being on other people's podcasts. Email marketing, solo ads, cold email, warm email. You can build up a blog. That can help your SEO as well. There's a million different channels that you could be on. The question is, what channels should you be on? And what channels are you going to focus on? In fact, I actually recommend first starting out, focus on one channel. Once you get success in that one channel, then you add 2 more. But start off with one so you can get everything dialed in and figured out on that one, and then move on to the next one. Point 4 in a 9-point marketing plan is your lead capture system. How are you actually getting leads into your business? Okay, so this could be a funnel. You could use a lead magnet. You could use a tripwire. But what you got to do is you got to figure out exactly what you're going to do. Maybe you're running a webinar. Maybe you're giving away a free checklist. Maybe you are cold calling people. Maybe you are door knocking. Whatever it is, you got to know what your lead capture system is. And that leads us naturally into point number 5, which is your lead nurturing system. This is where most people sleep. This is the most important of the 9 points, in my personal opinion. Lead nurturing. What's the process that you take leads through from not really knowing who you are, just becoming a lead, to being satisfied customers? How do you nurture them through that process? How do you love on them and get them to buy from you? Point number 6 is your sales conversion strategy. And this is outlining exactly what your sales process is going to be. For example, in my business, I have a 2-call close process. Sometimes it looks like a 3-call, depending on what the first call is. Sometimes I'll get on a 15-minute call with somebody where I'll just quickly figure out whether or not they are the right person for me to be talking to. If they are, then I schedule another call. If they aren't, then I ask them to get the right person to schedule the next call. Then I do a 2-call. On call number 1, I'm just doing what a good doctor does. I'm analyzing, I'm diagnosing, I'm figuring things out. I'm giving them as much value for free as I can in the moment, but I'm answering the questions I need to have answered so that I can step away, end the call, tell them, hey, we're going to meet up again in a week. And then I actually build a marketing plan for them. And then I get on my step 2 call, which is where I share the marketing plan with them and we talk about working together. From there, maybe we need some follow-up calls. Maybe they're good to go. I send them an invoice. We move forward. So every business looks different, but what is your sales conversion process going to look like? Point number 7 in a 9-point marketing plan is how you deliver a world-class experience. So I know this sounds a whole lot like it shouldn't be part of marketing because it's part of fulfillment, but no. What you're actually going to do in this section is you're going to figure out a way to be truly special. And what I mean by that is you're going to find you're going to find something you can do that is unique and valuable. For example, if you're a coffee shop, right? If you're a coffee shop, what's something you can do that no coffee shop ever does? It can just elevate the experience. It can increase the rates that you charge people, make people happier to be there. Well, one is that you could make it standard practice that every single coffee that goes out with a unique piece of, espresso art, right? You could do something like that to make something really stand out and pop. It doesn't necessarily mean reinventing the wheel. Just add something special to your fulfillment as marketing to make people like you and want to share and take pictures of it and put it up on their Facebook, right? Step number 8 in a 9-point marketing plan is all about increasing your customer lifetime value. We had a conversation last week about the 5 ways to make more money in any business, and this is kind of where that step lives. Like those go together, right? So how can I make more money? Maybe I can introduce some upsells. Maybe I can naturally walk my clients up an ascension ladder or a value ladder. Whatever you need to do in order to get an increased customer lifetime value. That's all the strategies we're going to be thinking through in our step 8. And then step 9 in any good 9-point marketing plan is always going to be, what do we do to engineer referrals? We can't just wait for referrals. We can't just hope for referrals. What do we do to engineer referrals? What do we do to engineer more business? And that's the question we'll be asking ourselves as we build out point 9 in our 9-point marketing plan. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our very first Marketing Monday. Let me know what you thought of this. If you want me to keep doing these, I'll keep doing these. The next weeks will be more deep dives into specific strategies. We'll focus on particulars, maybe like email marketing or something to that effect, JV job, something. They'll always be much more laser focused than this. Let me know what you think about that idea. That's all I got for you guys today. Love you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.